Hi friends, let's get started with the first course, which is Introduction to 10th Mathematics. This is an overview course, of course. It's always good to have some basic understanding of what we are going to study, what is a pattern, what is a trend analysis, and why should we study 10th Mathematics in the first place. Yes, so this course has been presented by me, Prateek. I work as a consultant at Ernst& Young, EY, and I scored 100 out of 100 in my 10th mathematics exam. And maybe I can give you some tips and tricks which you can use to score, yes, as many marks as possible in 10th mathematics. So let's get started and see what all topics we are going to cover in this course. Okay, so we are going to cover five topics broadly. First is motivation, then second is syllabus, then third is previous year questions, then fourth is trend analysis, and then last one is study plan. Okay, so in motivation we're going to see what is the significance of studying 10th mathematics. Okay, syllabus, we want to get a familiarity with all the topics that are being covered in this course. Then we are going to cover some of the previous year questions. So what this is going to do? Well, you will get an understanding of the types of questions that are being asked in this exam, and you will understand what is the difficulty level, the pattern, and all of those things. Then we'll do a trend analysis to quickly understand like the pattern and trend analysis of previous year papers, right? We will see which topics have how much significance, importance, and accordingly you can devise a study plan for yourself. So we will follow this study plan and we'll try to cover all the topics with an in-depth understanding. So welcome all of you to this course, and you know what, it always seems impossible until it's done. Yes, so let's get it started and get it done with. Okay, so what is the motivation behind this course? So motivation behind, like, why do we want to do this course except for getting good marks, of course. What is the significance of studying 10th maths? Well, it has many significances, but I have mentioned only four here. First is it makes you smarter. Yes, math is to learning what endurance and strength training is to sports. Then second is applications in academics. You will see high school maths is a building block for later maths courses, including senior high school and engineering mathematics. Then you will see applications in engineering aspects. Maths has diverse applications in all the engineering fields, including computer science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, electronics, aerospace, civil engineering, and much, much more. And then lastly, it ensures financial security. Yes, that's true. Everyone likes to have some money in their pockets, no? So having a good understanding of maths would definitely lend you a secure financial career. I'm sorry, my bad. Okay, so let's see the syllabus of this course. And so what is the purpose of this syllabus? Well, you must get yourself familiarized with all the topics that we are going to cover in this course. So broadly speaking, we are going to cover 7 units in this course. These are the unit names: number systems, algebra, coordinate geometry, and then here you can see trigonometry, mensuration, statistics and probability, and then we'll revise all of these units. So let's see what all chapters are covered under these units. So number systems has only one chapter, real numbers. Algebra has 4 chapters: polynomials, pair of linear equations in 2 variables, quadratic equations, and arithmetic progressions. Coordinate geometry has 3 chapters: straight lines, conic sections, introduction to 3D geometry. And then geometry has 3 chapters again: triangles, circles, and constructions. Now, have we seen trigonometry before? No. Trigonometry has 3 chapters: introduction to trigonometry, trigonometric identities, and heights and distances. Well, this last chapter, heights and distances, will give you the practical examples of trigonometry. Yes, you will see. This is a very nice chapter. Mensuration covers areas related to circles and surface areas and volumes. So basically the first chapter emphasizes upon the areas which are related to circles, and the second chapter focuses more towards the surface areas and volumes of 2D. So basically surface area is for 2D figures and volumes is for 3D objects. Okay. Okay, cool. So moving ahead, statistics and probability. It has two chapters, statistics and probability. Okay, so these chapters are really very important. This focuses a lot on, this is asked a lot in your advanced mathematics courses. So you must have a really good foundation on both of these topics. Okay, then we're gonna revise all of these topics, of course. Okay, so let us try to understand the structure and the difficulty level of the type of questions that are being asked in this paper. Okay, so this is the structure of the paper, previous year paper, which has 30 questions. It is of 3 hours and it constitutes 80 marks. So we're going to get an understanding of the types of questions that are asked in this exam. And so here are a few instructions. All the questions are compulsory, all 30 questions are compulsory. However, so there is no overall choice, however, an internal choice is being provided. Then third, use of calculator is prohibited. Yes, the good part about this is that you won't be asked to do very intensive calculations. Pretty simple and straightforward calculations are being asked in this exam. Then marks distribution. So the paper is divided into 4 sections, as we saw where did we see anywhere, no. So section A has 6 questions. Each question constitutes 1 marks. Total is 6 marks. Section B, 6 questions, 2 marks each, 12 marks in total. Section C, 10 questions, 3 marks, 30 marks total. Section D, 8 marks, 8 questions, sorry, my bad, 4 marks each, and 32 marks in total. These marks combined together constitutes 80 marks here. Straightforward. Okay, so this is a 2018 paper that we're going to study, we're going to cover to get an understanding of the type of questions asked in the question paper. Okay. Okay, so this is a 3 hours. I missed something. Okay, let me quickly add this. I'll add it later. Okay, so it has 30 questions, 3 hours, and 80 marks. Section A has 6 questions, B has 6 questions, Section C 10 questions, Section D 8 questions, 6, 6, 12, 22, 30. 30 questions total. Okay, the first question is, if x is equal to 3 is one root of the quadratic equation, then find the value of k. Well, if x is equal to 3 is one root of this quadratic equation, that means it must satisfy this equation. So when you will substitute x equals 3 here, you will get the value of this term as 0 because the RHS is 0, right? Let's see the solution. Since x is equal to 3 is the root of the equation, this is given in the question. This implies that it must satisfy the given equation, which is true. We simply substitute the value of x as 3 in this on the LHS and we equate it to 0. We solve this equation. We see 3 square minus 2k times 3 minus 6 is equal to 0. 9 minus 6k minus 6 equals 0, which gives 9 minus 6 3 on the left, and minus 6k goes here, becomes 6k, and k is equal to half. Very straightforward. Then what is the HCF of the smallest prime number and the smallest composite number? Okay, so just a quick revision. HCF is for highest common factor. Okay, if two numbers have some factors, then which is the highest factor, which is in both the highest factor which is common to both of those numbers. Okay, the smallest prime number. Okay, prime number starts from 2. The definition is it should not have any other multiple other than the 1 and the number itself. Okay, smallest prime number is 2. 1, why not 1? Because 1 is neither prime and nor composite by definition. Smallest composite number. Okay, 1 is neither prime nor composite, 2 is prime, 3 again it's prime, 4, yes, it's the smallest composite number. So smallest prime number is 2 and smallest composite number is 4. Let's see the solution. Smallest prime number is 2, smallest composite number is 4. The HCF for 2 and 4 is 4, 2. Yeah, that's true because 2 has factors 1 and 2. 4 has factors 1, 2 and 4. If we take the common factors out, which are 1 and 2, highest of them is 2. Okay, moving on to the third question. Find the distance of a point P x, y from the origin. Okay, so distance of a point P is the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle formed with x and y coordinates of the point P as its sides. Does it seem intuitive to you? Okay, no? Let me see. If this is my origin. This is the point x comma y, and this is the point A. What is this distance OA? Well, since this is a right triangle triangle, this is simply equal. This simply equals x, and this AP equals height of, or the y coordinate of point P, which is y. So OP equals under root OA square plus AP square, and OA is x square. AP is the difference between, it is the distance between these 2 points, which is y. Okay, so OP is under root x square plus y square. Why is it repeated? Ah, cool. Moving on to the, is it repeated? It's repeated. Just give me a second. Cool. In an AP arithmetic progression, if the common difference t equals -4 and the seventh term a7 is 4, then find the first term. So in an AP, the two basic blocks, the two basic building blocks are the first term and the common difference. Okay, here so these are the only two terms that these are the only two things that we need to calculate the nth term. Okay, so here common difference d is given and the seventh term is given, so we have to find the first term. Okay, so we'll simply equate the formula or the general expression to calculate a7, and from there we will get the value of a. Let's see how it is being done. Okay, the nth term of an AP with first term as a and common difference d is given by an equals a plus n minus 1 times d. Since we have already given that a7 equals 4, it implies that a plus 7 minus 1 into minus 4 equals 4. Substituting the values of n, which is 7, and d, which is -4, in this equation, we get this equation. Okay, so 7 minus 1 is 6 times -24. A minus 24 equals 4, and this implies a equals 28. Right? Okay, let's move to the next thing. Next question. What is the value of cos square 67 degree minus sin square 23 degree? Okay, so we will use an identity, very simple, very basic, and I guess the first one of the first identities that we studied in trigonometry, which is cos 90 minus theta is sin theta. These are called complementary something, I forgot. Anyways, this holds true. So we will use this identity, sin theta equals cos 90 degree minus theta, which implies sin 23 degree equals cos 90 degree minus 23 degree cos 67 degree. This implies their squares must be equal. Okay, so sin square 23 degree is equal to cos square 67 degree. This implies their difference must equate to 0. Of course, if they are equal, their difference must be 0, and that is being asked here. Okay, so the intuition behind these questions is whenever you see complementary functions, sine and cos, okay, like this, so and the difference here, so if you will subtract any of this number from 90, you will get the other number. 90 minus 67 degrees 23 degree, or 90 minus 23 degrees 67 degree. So you must get this intuition. Getting those intuitions at the right time, this is the striking step, and I will try to teach you how to get to that striking step. That is the point of this entire lecture. Okay, seventh question. Given that root 2 is irrational, prove that 5 plus 3 root 2 is irrational. So this is a very good question, and there are many questions of this type where you will prove by contradiction. Okay, what is proof by contradiction? You assume something, based on that assumption certain things must follow, and if they don't follow, you say that my assumption was wrong. Okay, so we will use the proof by contradiction technique to prove that 5 plus 3 root 2 is irrational. So let us assume to the contrary that it is rational. It means it must be expressed, or it can be expressed in the form p by q, where my p and q are integers, and my q is, which is in denominator, it is not equal to 0, because that would make this term to infinity, which cannot happen. So this implies root 2, I take the entire thing towards right except for the root 2 part. Okay, this implies my root 2 equals p minus 5q divided by 3q. But this implies that root 2 is rational, because everything on the right is rational. It is false. Root 2 by for a fact we know is irrational, and it is also given in the question. So my basic assumption, or my basic, yes, my basic assumption that 5 plus 3 root 2 is rational, which I have taken here, it is wrong because it is contradicting. It implies that root 2 is rational, but it is irrational. It is given in the question. So my basic assumption is false. So I proved that 5 plus 3 root 2 is irrational. Moving on, let's go to the next question. Okay, so in the figure shown below, ABCD is a rectangle. Find the values of x and y. My bad, I have removed this by mistake. Let's see here what it is. Okay, in the figure shown below, please don't see the solution abhi. Now for now, in the figure shown below, ABCD is a rectangle. Find the values of x and y. Okay, so in a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Generally speaking, for a parallelogram, this holds true. And since rectangle is a parallelogram, it holds true for rectangle as well. So since opposite sides are equal in a rectangle, we have AB equals CD and BC equals AD. This implies x plus y equals 30 centimeter, x minus y equals 14. We'll solve these linear equations. We can get x equals 22 and y equals 8. So for this is a very simple equation actually. We just add both of these terms. Y gets cancelled out, 2x equals 44. So x equals 22. If you will subtract these equations, x gets cancelled out, 2y, y minus y is 2y equals 16, y equals 8. Okay, next question. Find the sum of first 8 multiples of 3. Very simple question. First 8 multiples would be something like 3, 6, 9 up until 3 into 8, 24. We need to find the sum of this series. So let's call it by S8. Let's note the sum of first 8 multiples of 3 by S8. So we can see this would go like 3 plus 6 plus 9 up to until 24. We can take 3 common and see this is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 8. Okay, so now if we leave 3 apart and we will use it here. Okay, this is an AP, and if we know the first and the last term of an AP, it is always advisable to use this formula to calculate the sum of the AP. Okay, this is n by 2 first term plus last term. So here first n, which is the number of terms, is 8. So we will use 8 by 2, 1 plus 8. Okay, this is 3 times 4 times 1 plus 8. This is 3 into 4 into 9. 12 into 9, 108. Next question. Find the ratio in which P4, M divides the line segments joining the points A2, 3 and B6, minus 3. Okay. A and B are the endpoints of the line segment. P is the point which divides this line segment such that AP equals K and PB equals 1. It is not exactly the length, it's just a ratio. So AP equals PB is equal to K is to 1, which we have assumed. Okay, so for the formula to get the coordinates of a point P which divides the line segment joining two endpoints is given by these equations. So x naught here would be k times x2 plus 1 times x1 divided by k plus 1. It goes like this. So the kind of cross multiplication is happening, ratios getting multiplied crossly with their coordinates. So for x coordinate we multiply cross terms with x coordinates. I hope you're trying to understand and I'm not making things complicated unnecessarily. It's very simple. X1 gets multiplied with 1, k gets multiplied with x2, kx2 plus x1 divided by k plus 1. Denominator is always same, k plus 1. For y naught it would be 1 times y1 plus k times y2. So k y1 plus k times y2, and the denominator is sum of k and 1, k plus 1. Okay, let's move ahead. So using the same formulas, we simply equate 4 equals kx2, which is 6 plus 2 divided by k plus 1, and m equals k multiplied by minus 3 plus 3 divided by k plus 1. Because we have been given the coordinates of P as 4, m, we simply equate we replace x naught by 4, y naught by m. From here, if you will solve this equation, this is a very simple equation, I'm not going to solve this. We get k equals 1 and m equals 0. Okay, you can see if this satisfies the equation. If you put k equals 1 here, what do you get? 6 plus 2, 8 divided by 2, 4. We are right. Then what would be the m then? If k is 1, since this is minus 3 plus 3 is 0. Yes, this is our solution is right. So we will continue to discuss the remaining questions of this question paper in the next video. Thanks.